What's up, guys? G here. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing great. Welcome to my channel. Today we got another live stream. I'm gonna try to stay on topic today. Been getting some shit that I get off topic sometimes, which I'm guilty of. So I'll try to stay focused as I can. I've got a lot to cover today. Got a few articles that I want to cover. So mainly revolving Polestar. We've got some Tesla articles I want to look at. And lastly, which I think is currently my favorite right now, as much as I don't want to say it, NIO. So NIO's got some potential definitely going into the next, I would say in the short term. So yeah, I'm going to wait a few minutes, see if anybody shows up. While we wait, make sure to smash the like button for this video so we can get this out to other investors, NIO, Polestar, Tesla, all the investors out there. So make sure to hit the like button for me, and we'll get started soon. I'm gonna just, I guess, yeah, just wait a few seconds. And if you guys have a second, check out the links down below. I got Unusual Whales, TradingView. I got a whole bunch of links down there. So if you guys don't mind, just check those out. You'll get a little kickback. But I'm going to do a really quick poll actually while I wait. I'm going to do what's your favorite EV. I think the top three are going to be Tesla, NIO, and Polestar. Obviously we got Lucid, Rivian, I don't know if Mullen Ford, a few others, but just for the purposes, I'm going to do a quick poll and get your favorite EV long term. So obviously I think a lot of people might pick Tesla, but I just want to see if anybody is willing to take some risk on something other than Tesla. So I'm going to add NIO, Polestar, and the last one we'll do other, in case you want to do like Rivian or Lucid or something. I'm not a big fan of Lucid, so yeah, let me know which one your favorite is. What's up, Big Kahuna? Keep doing what you're doing, man. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm going to try to stay on topic this time. So we can start with Polestar if you guys like. And I usually spend a few minutes, like maybe like 20-30 minutes going through articles and highlighting stuff. So definitely hit the like button for me. It does take a little bit of time for me to get this done. But this one's a pretty long article, but I think it's got good stuff and bad stuff. I think a lot of people are concerned about the pricing, like why we're downtrending and stuff. But as a business fundamental, I did find some good stuff and really just retouch bases on things. So I think if you're a Polestar guy, you might enjoy this. But let's start kind of with like the downside things, right? So we've really haven't been performing pretty well in the stock market, even though fundamentally it's a good stock, right? And some of that's actually from some recent like events, I would say. Basically, I'll just say the thing here, disruptions to manufacturing, China's lockdowns and stuff, right? We basically know that. There's also an energy crisis going on around some regions now. And basically, it's like a drought. And so this is causing like power outages and stuff. So just a lot of like uncontrollable events, like unforeseen events are occurring, right? COVID, I guess, is, I don't know. It's just, I don't know if it's FUD or something just locking down again, but the droughts and stuff is definitely something, I guess, that could be controlled or something, but only to an extent. But yeah, as far as like the stock price, it hasn't really done very well. We're down 15% since like our official debut from when we rang the NASDAQ bell. But like I said, best fundamentals compared to all the other electric vehicles. You can talk about Lucid, Rivian. Just look at the numbers, and you'll definitely see that Polestar is definitely winning that race. So obviously Tesla is far way ahead, but 21,000 vehicles first half of just 2022. So that's not including anything last year. So that's really good growth, 125%. And then basically they're just talking about the backing that we have with Volvo and Geely. So most of this stuff we know, but just kind of retouch bases on some of this stuff. And really, I guess these are just kind of like FUD or catalysts and stuff that I guess technically in the short term does affect the stock. And that's the China production headwinds, right? So supply chain, which we've known has been going on for like a year or two now. But like I said, most recently, this drought and power outage is really affecting a lot of the EV production regions, especially Polestar, because I believe they have most of their power production plants and stuff in Sichuan City. So that is one of the, like, that's another reason that people can kind of short and stuff in the short term, just take advantage of articles like this and just try to compress the price and stuff. Oh, and by the way, we'll take a look at all the charts. So we'll take a look at Polestar's Teslas and NIO, so definitely stay till the end. And like I said earlier, probably NIO is my favorite one right now as far as like just a technical and catalyst perspective. So definitely stick to watch and learn about NIO because I do think that's a good short-term trade. But let's continue on here really quick. So explore the downside risk to Polestar's business performance. Really, it's just talking about how fundamentally we're good, and there's still optimism like in the long term, right? And I think that's what a lot of the hedge funds and institutions are doing. They're loading up while the price is cheap. And I know there's a lot of like Lucid channels and stuff, and they're basically telling you the same thing, but Polestar is actually a little bit different. They actually are delivering stuff that they're saying. And so yeah, just wanted to reassure that upside will reemerge stronger once the cloudy sentiment subsides. So like I said, yeah, short-term, what would I say? Short-term catalyst, FUD, or shielding, all that. After all that, you'll see that within like, what's it called? Within a gem, with the rock, there's a gem or something. Whatever, however you say that. Basically, I think that's what Polestar is, right? So after this storm that we're brewing and stuff, they'll definitely be a good company within all that, right? So just to kind of talk about some of the stuff that's going on as far as the production stuff, currently mostly the Polestar 2 is produced in Volvo's like factories out in, I don't even know how to say this, so, but it's basically in China. And so I think right now we're really dependent on a lot of like China productions, but once we get that Polestar 3 out, we're going to start doing some stuff in Charleston, and that's really going to cut some of that tie, and that's going to not slow down production. Not to mention the Polestar 3 will be like the biggest market for them, really. But we'll get more into that in just a bit because I think I do have some comments or statements on that. So I guess I could go back past this because I don't want to keep talking about the infections and stuff. Just, you know, basically same stuff, right? I guess when I was editing this or doing this here, I guess when I was editing all this, I wasn't thinking that maybe I was going to be redundant so much time. So I'm not going to talk about this, but definitely the threat of a power cut in Sichuan province announced this week. So that's been going on for like a few weeks now, like maybe 2 weeks. And just, I guess the short-term thesis, we don't know if maybe they extend it, just depending on how the power outage continues. So yeah, extending industrial power outage cuts this week in region as part of measures to conserve energy and ensure an efficient balance and supply to its people. Yeah, so they're just really cutting like any excessive, like unnecessary like production and stuff, so they can continue providing it to people's homes and stuff. So that's why basically that could affect like production numbers and stuff. And like I said, Sichuan province currently houses like more than 1/5 of China's lithium production. Oh, this is another thing. So the batteries, the lithium production. So right now, when all this manufacturings are being shut down, like CATL, CATL, they're like the largest EV production for EVs. They're being shut down, you know, short term because of the what's it called, the droughts. So basically everything's just being slowed down, and that's going to cause, so when there's like low supply, then demand's still there, then that's going to raise prices. So that's also going to like kind of cut into some of these margins and stuff, and then not to mention actually also producing these vehicles. So on top of like them closing down like the manufacturing places for them to build the Polestars, they're also like on the material side, they're closing like these plants as well. So now materials are also becoming more expensive, and they're becoming more scarce, more valuable in the short term until the drought stuff and just the power plants reopen. And like I said, Polestar 2 is currently located in Sichuan province, and so with all this is like directly impacting Polestar. Now there hasn't really been any comments made by Polestar, so we still have yet to find out if this is going to affect their production numbers, right? Because right now we're scheduled to, or projecting to do 50,000, and we're basically halfway there. But again, these are like unforeseen events, so that can definitely like change, especially like I guess during Q3, if they end up doing the Q3 results, then that's when we'll get the an update too, right? So we'll see how that kind of, but this is just, I guess, preparing you for some of this, that there's definitely stuff going on in China right now. What else did I want to? So yeah, droughts, widespread droughts and heat waves across South China. So that's just FUD that people are spreading. Obviously, it is affecting probably production numbers and stuff. But once we get Polestar 3 out, and actually, they're saying here there is some uncertainty, right? So they could push back productions of Polestar 3 because Polestar 3 is going to be produced in Charleston, but it's also going to be produced in this other power plant, which is Volvo Chengdu, right? So so there could definitely be a pushback, but just based on some dependency in the Charleston, I don't know if they'll actually push that back. I think that they should still be on target, right? I just think October is such a big event, big catalyst for us that it would really suck if they push that back. So they might, what could happen is they still do the event and stuff. They start taking reservations, but deliveries just might take a little bit longer, you know? I would hate for them to push that back, but is that everything I had on that? Let me double check. Sorry if I'm, and you guys can feel free to ask questions if you have anything or stocks and stuff, but I'll try to stay on topic if I can. Further input costs. Yeah, I think I talked about all of this, right? So in the short term, impact the bottom line in the near term, right? Because of just further input cost headwinds and production for Polestar. And you can also see, you can kind of see this stuff, let me see, further margins. Yeah. So basically what I'm saying, further margin erosion for an industry that has already, wait, what just happened to my shit? Okay, here we go. Where we are. Yeah, so material and stuff has already been like insanely crazy, right? And so this is just going to add to that headwind. Then there's going to be more, now that supply chains is like starting to become a thing again. So what was I going to show sign of easing? Yeah, so there was, we're basically showing sign of easing from like our really like, we had bottlenecks like that were tremendously bad, but now we were like finally cooling off, things were looking better, and now we have like this event coming up, right? So lithium prices are near the highest, and basically it's not going to get good in the short term. And you can see that because there are some electric vehicles earnings. So if you took a look at the XPeng earnings, they reported another consecutive you know what I'm talking about. But basically consecutive quarter of a margin decline, right? In the third months through June to higher material and battery costs. So don't think that this is just specific to XPeng, right? So it's going to be affecting, I think, I don't remember looking at Tesla's earnings, but I mean, obviously they have like really good margins and stuff. So, but for someone like I wouldn't say beta, but the new upcoming companies like Polestar, Lucid, NIO, well, not NIO, NIO is kind of in between alpha and beta. Like it's still, I don't know where it's at. It's a little bit above Polestar and it's under Tesla in my opinion. But Polestar is definitely catching up, I would say. But just for like newer upcoming companies like XPeng, Li Auto, and like Polestar, Rivian, Lucid, I think that's a nice little bunch there. Higher material cost and battery costs are definitely going to be like a big thing, a big factor in their margins. Let me quickly read some questions and then we'll continue going. So some announcement next week will shed some light on the production. Okay, yeah. Hopefully a catalyst next week and more big name buyers. Yes. So in the last live stream, I don't know if you guys tuned in, but I did go over some hedge funds that, so I think they sent out their 13Fs, I think, and it basically updates what they're holding and stuff. And we went through a lot of institutions and banks and stuff that actually added to their positions. There was like one or two that maybe trimmed down their positions, but majority of the hedge funds and stuff, they added to Polestar. And I think more of the story is like 29% of the whole float or the outstanding shares is owned by institutional investors and hedge funds. So check that video out. But will they do a rights issue to raise more cash? I don't think so. They're already doing the Polestar 6 reservations right now. That I think they're doing that way ahead. Like I'd rather have them get Polestar 3 done, and then they can do they can start thinking about further models and stuff. But it is a way for them to raise money by taking a 25,000 reservation. I definitely wouldn't do a reservation just because it's a lot of money to just, it would be dead money for a few years, right? Because the Polestar 6 wouldn't be out until like 26, 27. I'm not sure. 2026 or 2027. I'm not even sure. But another thing that kind of questions me is they could do with the Polestar 3. They're going to be taking reservations in October. So that is another way for them to technically have more capital without technically diluting investors. But that's just me. I don't know if they have other plans. I don't think they would dilute. And really, like, them taking a 25K reservation and trying to raise capital that way, it shows that the management team does like value the investor, to some extent. So obviously, if they didn't, they would just throw and dilute shares and do like a raising a fund round or whatever. So I don't think they'll do anything. Or I'm sorry, maybe you're asking about something else. Well, they do have a rights issue to raise more capital. Are you saying they have some, or they have like shares that they have currently available to like send out? I'm not sure. I don't really follow too much on the SEC filings, to be honest, but if you do know something more, Conrad, let me know. I'd love to know. And if you guys don't mind, just hit the like button for me, and we'll continue going. So I think I skipped something really quick, but these are just basically the halfway point numbers that we have, 21,000 vehicles. So just insane numbers compared to any of these other Lucid, any of the other, just as they don't even stack up against each other, right? And they're still, I mean, they're halfway there. So yeah, just something to consider with the droughts. Repeatedly adjusted. Yeah, so this is interesting, right? So Polestar has been one of the few EV pure plays that consistently demonstrate on-track progress towards achieving its annual deliver guidance, right? So many others are basically repeatedly adjusting their production guidance due to near-term supply chains, and that just basically comes down to management and stuff. And also, like, Polestar, they had, like, obviously they have Volvo and Geely, so that helps them, but they just really, I think Polestar secured like contracts and stuff like ahead of like, or early on, like maybe it was in 2020, like when the pandemic hit and stuff. They adjusted and they pivoted quickly, and some of the other ones didn't, right? So that just, it's good to see like management adjusting to like situations like that versus some of the other ones, like Lucid and Rivian. Like, they're burning tons of cash because they're having to like pay these things like in like the new world. Basically, this is the new world. They're having to pay like outrageous prices for lithium or whatever. And Polestar, to an extent, had contracts running into like certain years, I think. Obviously they're gonna have to renew those and there'll be new prices, right? But in the short term, it definitely helped them out. EVs upcoming. So yeah, the Polestar 3 also expected to be a catalyst. So yeah, this is probably the biggest catalyst for this year. And like I said, it's going to be a flagship unveiled in October, and they'll be able to take reservations that same day. And so, like what you were saying, maybe Conrad, this will be another way that maybe they can have a little bit of capital. Not sure how much the reservations will be, but just depending on what that is, they might not have to issue anything, right? Plus, they don't have like a terrible balance sheet. I think they have like 700 million or 800 million. Not exactly sure. But yeah, the Polestar 3 is going to be like a pretty big story, pretty big article, I think, big catalyst, because it's basically the biggest, it's in the biggest market, and it's going to be produced in the south, like I said, the U.S. Charleston facility. So it does cut a little bit of that dependency with China. And then they're also recently passed that anti-inflationary or what reduction act, which it's BS, but they're doing 7,500 tax credit. So I think Kahuna maybe told me last time, but yeah, they are eligible for this one because it's 80,000 is like the cutoff. So basically, the Polestar 3 should be eligible for that 7,500 credit. And so the only reason that I think this is big and stuff, like I said, it's SUVs account for more than half of their annual car registrations. So Polestar's biggest markets right now are US and Europe, and in those specific regions, SUVs are basically the biggest market for them. So it's good to already have a good exposure in those markets, and then now they're bringing in something that sells well there, basically. So So I think that's it. Well, actually, the last thing here. So with the Polestar 3, and I think I've told you guys this, but they're basically making this new SPA2 platform, and that's going to be like the new foundation for their new models. And that's just going to like simplify a lot of like, what's it called? Just like the design and implementation and just manufacturing. It's going to just make a lot of things more simpler. It's going to cut down on like different parts. So if you're going to use the same platform, you can use a lot of the same, bolts and nuts and a lot. So it's a good idea to simplify things, right? So just having, and I think that's what Rivian does too. They have like the RT1 or something, and then they use that same body and then just do the SUV version of it. Not SUV, but with the one with the back. So it's a working model basically. And then yeah, this is the highest, basically the highest marginable vehicle to date. So that's what I got on Polestar. Let me quickly scroll back up and I'll read a question. I think there is hedge funds adequate till next year. Rights issue will just promote exposure by the name is out there. But the name is out there. It's just a matter of retail becoming more involved. Yeah. And actually, I wasn't going to cover this, but I think someone talked about meme stocks last time. Why the Polestar and stuff isn't in the meme rally and stuff. I think I found an article on it. I guess I'll share it. Was it this one? Yeah. Rather than just institution. Yeah, so just right now it's like 29% institution investments, right? So like they're just collecting premium. I think I showed you guys some of those options. They're just collecting premium stuff. And where's the meme stuff I was talking about? Yeah, stock has missed out on the recent stock rally. The meme, yeah. So it doesn't make sense. Polestar should definitely be in that Polestar in that meme rally. Sorry, I'm distracted by my obnoxious neighbor. He's on his motorcycle and stuff. It's just so obnoxious. I don't know if it's coming through. But I don't think I really have anything else to cover on Polestar. You guys have any questions on this? The next one I want to talk about is Tesla. Stock split, the kiss of death. What do you guys think about that? And quickly, let me actually take a look at some of the results on the poll. Let's see what you guys are voting for. So everybody, we got 3 votes. Everybody's voting for Polestar. I actually agree with you guys. Favorite long term, and yeah, just because Tesla is trading like pretty rich, like it's like more rich than the SPY right now. But Tesla always has good news coming out. Well, for the most part. I guess we're gonna pivot over. If you guys have any Polestar questions, put them down in the comments and stuff, and we can talk about it. And I'm gonna take a look at the chart. We'll take a look at the chart now. I'm gonna do it off the top of my head, so I haven't actually charted it. So we'll look at that in a second, or we can do that now actually. Let me pull it up. I was looking at Tesla earlier. How are you guys feeling today though? We chilling today or what's up? So no volume. I think that's pretty obvious. Our volume is still like 1.5 million, which I thought we were going to be like trading at a higher. But we did talk last time that we had a potential head and shoulders or inverse head and shoulders. I think that might be something possible. We were talking about the shoulder here being maybe a head. So we got rejected at our monthly level here, which is like 880, 890. So, but it does look like we're trying to break back out. So if we could retouch this and actually break into $9, then maybe there is no inverse head and shoulders and we can go back up to 950, 960. Obviously, we're talking about pennies here. There's like I think there was an article that said that they have a price target of like $18 on. I think it was in that last article actually. They had a price target of $18 for this. So let me go down here really quick. Or maybe I didn't read all of this. Didn't I read all of this? Okay, I'm sorry. There's a final thoughts here. So reaffirming guidance, right? So just the final thoughts. Basically, they remain optimistic on potential upside. The ongoing, like the difference between the stock price and the actual performance in the stock and the stock versus like the company, that'll definitely like switch, I think, and there'll be like people like FOMOing back into it or something. So yeah, it's like currently the stock price really overshadowing Polestar's recent achievements, right? And that's because high growth can kind of be like ignored right now, obviously, but I don't know. People just hate Polestar for some reason, like the market. I'm not sure what's going on, but they're maintaining their price target of $18. There's a 110% upside from about $8.50. So that's currently where we're at right now. So I mean, you could basically just start accumulating some shares around this price area. I don't know if we'll end up going further down. There's always a possibility. Do you guys think there'll be a stock market crash still or no? Let me see where we're at. So we still have that potential inverse head and shoulders that I think Kahuna was talking about. What do you guys think? Is that still something that we could see down the road? I'm currently on the 1 hour. There's really not much to go off. We basically have a bottom right now, which is like 830, 829. Other than that, if we break this, then we have no further support down here. And what we need to do is reclaim like $9, or yeah, $9 is ideally what we want to reclaim. And it looks like we are consolidating just a bit. So at least it's not a red day. You know, we came up, retouched it, and now we've kind of been consolidating. So we could possibly break back out. Yeah. And retouch it, and then maybe break back above $9. But just like on the further time frames, I think everything's still a little bit depressing, I would say. But that's what I'm saying, like in the short term, the stock doesn't really reflect a lot of the fundamentals. But you know, down the road, when you can see, I think Q3 will be something big for us. What else can I tell you guys here? Let's see, that's on the 1 hour. Yeah, basically same thing, right? There's not really much TA to actually do here because we have no volume, so there's like nothing going on with it. It's just like it'll break up, get rejected or shorted, and then it'll consolidate. So we could slap in some more resistance on here, but it wouldn't really help much. I still do like the idea of an inverse head and shoulders though, which you guys were talking about. So maybe we get rejected at that breakout, and we just consolidate here, which would make a nice little bottom for us, and then we can start working our way back up, you know, retest this and then come back down, and then eventually on that third try we break back out above. So that's maybe what ideally could happen. Also, we could be doing like maybe, let's see if this lines up, maybe like a wedge or something, but really there's like not much to go off of right now. I wouldn't want a wedge just because it would take a lot longer for it to form, right? We want these to get closer and stuff, but so I do like that inverse head and shoulder idea for it. I think big dip may be end of the year. Yeah, what do you mean, Big Kuna? You think there'll be another big dip? I thought that like the 7 is a possibility, but if we can hold 820, then we could start rounding out. Just start working sideways. Oh, I think you're talking about the stock market, right? Yeah, I think so too. Well, actually no, because there's like it's a midterm year, so they're basically they gotta buy votes. Basically, the politics have to buy votes. So I think the market's gonna do good, but that's just my opinion. Let's talk a little bit about Tesla, the case for Tesla. So obviously we had the Tesla split today. Now we're trading under $300. It's been adjusted today, but there's already like analysts coming out with new price targets. They actually raised it. So after months of waiting for shareholder approval, the company wasted little time to do the 3-for-1 into action. And so it's under $300 now. But Wedbush, this the analyst or whoever's in here has already adjusted the Tesla stock price to $360. Now, I think within the next 12 months, and he maintains it as outperform. Previously to that, it was his price target was 1,000. So when they adjusted it, if you were to adjust the 1,000, it would be like 333. So he actually raised the stock price for Tesla. So we are adjusting our pre-split 1,000 price target, 333 post-split to 360, reflecting. Oh shit! I didn't mean to do that. So where was I? Yeah. So some of the things that he was talking about is basically because the China efficiency is going to increase in the production. So basically they've done like upgrades and stuff to Tesla gigafactories, and now they can start producing a lot more vehicles. So while both analysts see the split as being a positive growth for Tesla, they also identify another factor that they will produce that will boost shares as well. Production in China is increasing as well as other Tesla gigafactories. So this is good in general for just electric vehicles, because I just hammered the thesis that it's pretty bad in China, but that's going to be in the short term, right? Eventually we're going to get through that, and production is going to start ramping back up. And I think the COVID stuff is basically out of the way. It's just really the drought stuff that's holding things up now. But Tesla's like really, they've done some upgrades to their things. Demand is not the problem for Tesla, but supply is now clearly on an upward and now clearly on an outward trajectory. So yeah, the reason that they can start doing more supply and stuff is, I think earlier this year and stuff, they started cutting their delivery times. So Tesla has managed to cut Model 3, Model Y delivery times in China after upgrading their Gigafactory Shanghai for more production capacity. So basically that's going to help them deliver these vehicles for the demand that they have. And that's one of the theses that the analyst is saying about Tesla. So ramping up production in Shanghai and be able to maintain its share of the market, global EV market. So demand, yeah, I think I talk about that. Yeah, demand rise throughout the year, but has found difficult to keep pace due to supply chains. Yeah, so most of that stuff is out of the way now. It's just the droughts. But Tesla is also upgrading their gigafactories and stuff. So for 2023, they believe 2 million deliveries potential, and will be a significant advantage for Tesla in this arms race for EVs and stuff. So we have a lot of competition. Tesla is one of them. But they're doing all the steps necessary, I would say. So, also, they're talking about like just Tesla becoming such a big company in general, like for the green wave, right? This is the green tidal wave, and that's basically the whole change transformation into sustainable and clean energy and stuff, right? Obviously, they're passing like tons, billions of dollars in climate bill changes and stuff, which is gonna be tax money that we pay and stuff, and it kind of sucks, right? But Tesla's like clearly in the lead, right? They've been doing this for like years now. They've got millions of miles like under their belt, just like data and stuff, right? So I'm bullish on Tesla. I think it's so expensive, as a stock, because they've been doing this for a while. So it's hard to hate Tesla and stuff, but I just can't invest in it like that. But Tesla continue rising as the world continues shifting to a greener future, successfully scaling production. Yeah. So yeah, just a big bullish thesis on the whole movement for clean energy and the billions of dollars that's coming out, and just it's like a tailwind basically. But short-term hiccups and stuff like the China stuff, and just like Elon himself as a CEO and stuff, obviously he has a cult following, but just like little things that he does can definitely affect the price, right? So he sold like millions of shares, and then he's got like all the drama and stuff. So all those things kind of affect the stock price, and that'll kind of move me over to the next article that I have. Oh, not this one. This one's something else. I probably won't cover that. This one's the one that I want to talk about, I think. So Tesla's stock price may disappoint. So obviously Tesla has a foundation, a cult following and stuff, but in the stock split, usually like last year was a success, right? So 2020 was, among several other factors, drove the stock up about 8 times. Let me zoom out. I didn't want to zoom in too much, or am I good on the zooming in? But basically, we were in different lands. We were different times. Like you would do a stock split and you would double up, because that was just the market we were in. But this go around, it's not. I don't know if it'll be the same, right? We have a economic slowdown. There's increasing interest rates. So just like high growth technology stocks are getting hammered away, right? They're basically like having to like adjust their forward guidance and just their growth and stuff. And Tesla's a high growth stock too, technically still, right? And just like some evidence and some things, what's it called? Some whatever it's called. Basically, Alphabet and Google have already experienced it, right? So after announcing their stock split, they fell. So the Amazon shares fell 10%, and then Alphabet has lost about 21%. So it hasn't really like performed well this go around for stocks, because reality's starting to hit in. And so that might be the thing that happens with Tesla. Like, and I don't know. What do you guys think? Tesla's down 12% since March when it declared its split. So yeah, just not the same vibes, not the same sentiments that has happened with like the previously. A stock split really doesn't change anything, right? You're just basically exchanging your shares for like more, but the value doesn't change. So if I had something that's worth $10 and then they give me two that's worth five, then I don't really gain anything. I really don't lose anything. So there's really no stock price movement. There's no change, but it definitely opens the doors and stuff for like more investors to be able to purchase it. Because here in the U.S., it's not hard. You can buy partial fractional shares and stuff, but like outside the U.S., there's countries you can't really buy that yet. So if you want to buy like if you wanted to buy something of Amazon, you had to buy a $3,000 share, and you had to have that money. You couldn't buy a piece of it. So this definitely opens that barrier for a lot of more investors to come in and possibly run it back up too, right? But I just don't think the catalyst and the economy is in that position where people are just FOMOing into stuff, right? Because we're technically in a recession now, so things are different. People actually have to go buy food and are noticing like their prices going up, their gas going up and stuff. So it's not like 2020, and we'll talk about 2020 in a little bit because NIO. Oh shit, what happened here? Yeah, so 2020 was like a stimulus year, right? We had tons of money, like just everybody was eating lobster and everybody was eating good and stuff, and people were just buying and FOMO. There was like so much demand for everything, and that's what's really causing 2022 such a horrific year, right? Because of what happened in 2020. And people are just now realizing like stimulus is just gonna be like it's a word that kind of just you're gonna be like it's gonna have bad memories whenever you think about stimulus check or something. It's gonna give you like bad vibes, like 'cause that's how it is. So valuations, or actually, before I talk about valuations, Warren Buffett, he's not impressed with stock splits. So that's why a single share of Berkshire Hathaway is 400, almost half a million, basically, almost. He doesn't believe in share, but that's good, right? Because it's just like Chipotle. I think Chipotle they don't have that many shares outstanding, so your share is like more valuable because there's not that many out there. Even though you're doing a stock split and you don't really change fundamental and stuff, now technically you're not diluted and stuff, but your share is worth less because now there's more out there, basically. Even though it doesn't change anything, it still feels like dilution to me personally, right? But I think that's what I had to cover on here. I was on a roll, but I forgot what I was talking about. And if you guys have questions or comments, definitely put them in the chat. I'll read them in just a second. Valuation continued concerns of Tesla may also hold the back investor interest. So yeah, that's what's holding people back. Like people are starting to see like these valuations, 57 times forward earnings, estimated to 17 times the S&P. And let me just say the S&P is like, I think we're like trading pretty expensive right now. What do you guys think? Trading pretty expensive. So imagine like Tesla trading like almost 3 times that, and like I think the SPY has a little bit more to come down, right? So what does that say about Tesla? I think that one's going to be a huge bubble at some point, and it'll be a good opportunity for people to start buying too, right? I'm not trying to spread FUD or fear into anybody. I'm just saying it could happen, But and then they're talking about the persist supply shortages and stuff. So definitely we're in a different environment now, like just what I was covering up here, economy slowdown and rising interest rates, and then also like more concerned, right? So valuation, and people have to eat, so they're doing like what they have to do, and they're not just FOMOing. There's not like that money, the money printer is not out there no more. So, but in China, persist supply chain shortages across the automotive industry, and we basically just talked about that with Polestar and stuff. High raw material costs may begin to eat into company profits. Yeah, so all that I just talked about, and just like it's basically like across all different sectors, right? It's like it's not just for Polestar, it's for like everybody, and it's like it all is tied together. Basically, like what I'm telling you guys, it's real and it's happening. And then I was talking about how the stock might still do well, but Elon, he's been selling and stuff because he's on an ongoing battle with Twitter and stuff, and so he has to sell shares or do whatever he's got to do because most of his net worth is tied in Tesla stocks. So that was bad, right? But on the bright side, there's like a big retail cult, like I said, and they might just meme rally it up. So who knows? But this will be definitely interesting to see how the split goes. And like I said, the last two, like Amazon and Google, have not done well, but they've started to perform a little bit better now. So we'll see how that goes. What do you guys think? You guys think it keeps going? I was looking at this one. I don't think I'm gonna cover it. It's just basically them wanting to do some stuff where, yeah, we're not gonna cover that one. What was I saying? Yeah, demands. And actually, people say there's demand for stuff, right? Like demand's there, but what's gonna happen when recession hits, or if recession? Are we not in a recession yet? What's gonna happen? Is the demand still gonna be there? Because people have to eat. Like analysts are talking about all these projections and stuff, but they're not talking about what's actually going on in the middle class, the lower class. Like, I mean, obviously they, it's harder for them to even afford a Tesla now, even without a recession. But now that things are going up crazy, like demand's gonna come down too, I think. So those are like realistic things that, maybe we read the headlines and stuff and we ignore. Like we get these price bullish analyst upgrades and stuff, and oh, there's still demand and stuff, but then they don't really take into consideration that we're basically in a recession. So is that demand really going to be there in a year, like, or in the short term? I don't know. We'll wait and see. So I'm going to close that one out because I don't want to talk about it. That's the baby stuff. It keeps coming up. I don't think I'm going to talk about it. Tesla California should toughen their EV requirements. I highlighted a few things on here just because I don't know if it's realistic or something. Let me quickly read this question. Not sure if you've seen the announcement coming from SpaceX and T-Mobile. Might affect Tesla stock if it's good news. They are streaming at 8 p.m. Eastern on the SpaceX channel. I did see the headlines on stuff. I'm not exactly sure what all is involved, but I did see that SpaceX tweeted something about T-Mobile and then Elon retweeted it and stuff. So yeah, that might be good news for Tesla stock if it's good news. They are streaming at 8. What do you think it'll be? What would happen? Like, I think it would be more related to SpaceX. So I don't. How would it affect Tesla stock? Because a lot of people also do think that Tesla and SpaceX and everything's all the same company and stuff. But since everything else is private right now, like their Neuralink, the Boring Company, SpaceX, all of those companies are technically private. People invest in Tesla to invest in those technically, right? Or they invest in SpaceX through investing in Tesla technically. So yeah, it might be like a sympathy or something. I was gonna do just something here on this California Air Force resources. They're trying to get most of their vehicles in the state by 2035 to be either electric or all plug-in hybrids. I honestly, like, just thinking about it, it's like it would be like 13 years to get all that stuff done. Do you guys think that is realistic? Because I think 2035 might be too short of a time. But basically what Tesla's trying to do is they're trying to get them to get it done by 2030. So Tesla produces all electric vehicles. Said July 26th they want CARB to start requiring 100% zero emission vehicles by 2030. So I think 2035 is a very long time, but I don't think it's enough time to get all the infrastructure done. Like, imagine just not having any vehicles that are gas by 2035. Like, I don't know about you guys, but 2022 flew by and I still don't see any chargers near where I live and stuff, or not enough chargers. And so, like, I don't know, I just think 2025 or 2035 is not long enough. But Tesla, they're out there trying to negotiate and trying to get this down to 2030. And basically the reason I think they're doing that is basically they're trying to be able to just take advantage of like infrastructure bills, like credits and stuff, and they're just trying to pressure people into getting an electric vehicle. But I don't think Tesla vehicles are at the price tag that are affordable yet. Remember, Elon said he wants to cut this down to an affordable price and stuff. Like, once he can do that, then I'd be like, like I'll be for like, yeah, go ahead and cut it down to 2030, but right now people can't even afford it. So 2030 is like unrealistic. Even 2035, I think it's a little unrealistic. Once we get an affordable electric vehicle that's like 25,000, 30,000 maybe, then you can start pushing these like, you know, these deals and stuff, or these regulations and stuff. But I think it's still too early, and I think that was just kind of an insult, or just kind of funny to try to push it down to 2030. It doesn't make sense. I'm not bashing on Tesla and stuff, but they're just, I don't know, they're trying to get their delivery numbers up, but then they're trying to sell these vehicles at these high outrageous prices right now, especially with all the material costs right now. Just doesn't make any sense. And then on top of that, remember how the iPhone doesn't come with your charger and stuff for your headphones? They're basically trying to do the same thing with their chargers, or I think they're doing this already, but Tesla wants some other changes to the charging requirements, including dropping requirements that new vehicles have charging adapters and cords that many customers do not use. So basically, they don't want to provide the charger for you anymore. And that's going to basically cut down on costs for Tesla, but they're still going to sell you that vehicle for that $75,000, right? So they're going to sell you that $75,000 vehicle for $75,000 with or without that charger. But by implementing this charging requirement, now they don't have to sell you those chargers, but they're still going to sell you that. It's not like they're going to bring their price down, right? Like, oh, since we're not providing the charger, we're not going to charge you this anymore, right? We're going to bring the price down. I doubt that happens, right? So this is just another way for Tesla to try to like increase their margins, I think, which is kind of sneaky, kind of shady. I don't know. I just was reading through some of that. I found it kind of interesting. I think that's all I have on Tesla. We can take a look at the chart if you guys want me to. So let me pull it up. Let's see. So what I was looking at, I mean, the chart looks actually kind of juicy. One thing is it could be a head and shoulders pattern here. Let me go to the 4 hour. It could be a head and shoulders pattern. It's kind of hard to say if it's head and shoulders because it kind of double topped up here. But it could still maybe be a head and shoulders. But I think more realistically, after like actually looking at it, it looks more like a pennant wedge. So I think somewhere down like next week or something, we might have like more of a breakout, which makes sense because this week we have Powell speaking and stuff, and we'll get a clearer direction for the short term. I don't think there's major news and stuff like headed until like end of September, where we'll get the next FOMC meetings and stuff. So we might have like a small window side of relief where we can just do what we want, right? Where the market can trade in a more clear path. So I think like mid next week or something, we'll probably have a nice direction either upwards or downwards. So that's what I'm looking at. Basically, Tesla's consolidating. It's making higher lows. It's making technically higher or lower highs. So I think soon we'll find out which direction it wants to go. For the price, it doesn't really move as much. So this is another thing with splitting your stock. Now that there was like $900, right? So now there's 3 of those. So now there's 3 times more shares out there. So let's look at the float. So 7 billion. So maybe there was like, what would that be? 7 divided by 3 would be like, was there 2 billion there was probably like 2 billion shares out there. Is that right? Or has this updated? I think it has. There's like 2 billion shares traded daily on the float, but now there's 7. Is that right? Because there's more shares out there. So that would mean that cut down. I don't know. Yeah, so now with more shares out there, it's going to move less in price. So let's say it used to move like $20 a day. Now it's like moving like, $10 or something. It's not gonna move as much because there's more shares out there. So yeah, that's just how dilution not dilution. Let me get that. Don't get me wrong. It's not dilution. It's just stock splitting. Now there's more shares. So for example, think of like Pfizer. Like this thing has like so many shares, man. Where's it at? 5 billion share float. This thing only moves like not even $1. There's so many shares out there. Like people buying like, okay, so think of it. So there's 5 billion shares out there. Even like a big order, like let's say somebody buys 1 million shares, it's barely going to make a dent. Or if somebody sells 1 million shares, it's barely going to make a dent in the price now, right? So that's the bad thing about share splits. So now that there's like 7 billion shares out there, like I'm surprised this thing is moving as much as it does, honestly. So there's 7 billion shares out there. If somebody was to buy 1 million shares, it's like gonna move so much. If there was like 1/3 of these shares, it would move just a little bit more, right? So now the price is not gonna be as fluctuable or volatile, I would say. But this is what I see here. On the 1 hour, I think is a pretty important. We're holding the 200 moving average, which is good. We've like constantly kind of bounced there, and we just retested it again, so it's good. Like I said, we're making higher lows, and then we're consolidating to the on the upside. So I would probably see us trading in this range for, you know, another day or two, or maybe, well, we have the weekend, so yeah, probably like by Wednesday we probably get, maybe even Monday we'll get a better direction, because this is, yeah, that's what I'm seeing though. Not too much going on with it, but if it breaks to the upside, it'd be a pretty nice move. I think it would be like, let's just get an idea, it would be somewhere like from here to here, and we just break out. It'd be like to 330, 333, 340 maybe. That would probably be the upside, I think. And that's gonna line up somewhere around here, so somewhere around this range. So like in the trenches basically. 330. I think that's somewhere. That's what I'll be looking at. But volume for the day, let's look at the volume. So average 56 or 66. Volume today was 53, so below average. Let's go. Ooh, below average. Nobody likes hearing that, below average. Am I right? So one thing though, I guess I just noticed is our weekly level. We're holding our weekly level, so we probably continue running back up to 300 somewhere. It looks like it's slowly crawling its way back up there, but I would just watch the downtrend to see if it can break out of there. Who knows? It breaks out earlier than, you know, just depending on what Powell says tomorrow. We'll see. But I have no thesis on what he's going to say, honestly. I don't know what he's going to say. Actually, I might need to adjust this up here. Cleaner there. So yeah, I don't have much to say on Tesla. We're just kind of working in a pattern. I did think this was a double top here. And we had a gap fill somewhere up here, I thought. Didn't we have a gap fill? Let me see. Let me go to the daily. I think we had a gap fill here. Do we have a gap fill or no? No, we don't have a gap fill. I thought we had a gap fill. I guess we don't. That's what I got for Tesla though. Not much help, honestly. We're just waiting to see where it breaks out. Yeah, we're just waiting to see what it does. And it's not really a head and shoulders because this thing is huge as fuck. Like, it's a huge ass shoulder if it was. So I would just wait to see. And you can start playing this to the downside once it starts breaking this trend. Like, it could like break down, come back, retest it, and then break down finally and come down to like 260. Yeah, like 256, somewhere around here. Like, I'll probably touch this here first, 265, but I think the end target would be somewhere down here. I'm going to clear all this out. I hate leaving stuff on my charts. So now the juicy one, I think probably my favorite trade right now. I traded this one today. I made some good money, and I wish I kind of would have got back in at the end of the day, but instead I went and got some puts on pins, which I think I regret. But basically the one that I want to talk about is NIO. So NIO spiked Thursday. I've been bullish on China stocks for a while because before we cover any of these articles, I guess I should tell you guys what's a good way to do this. Maybe I can cover it with let me do SPY. I'm going to show you guys something really cool. So SPY on the daily, and then we're going to add Pinduoduo, or we can do HSI. HSI. Let's see if HSI works. Yeah. So here in June, when the market started selling off and stuff, people started buying the China stocks and stuff. And so then now the market's starting to sell off, and I was thinking that people would start buying the China stocks again. So I was talking about that early last week. I talked about it in Twitter. So if you guys don't follow me there, and you can do that same thing with Pinduoduo. Let's do Pinduoduo. Let me take this one off. But yeah, Pinduoduo was the one that I was watching. When the market started selling off, this thing started gassing and everything. I mean, yeah, it's just same thing. Like, I think, and see now Pinduoduo is starting to move back up. And so yesterday I noticed that NIO was kind of lagging all the China stocks and stuff. So basically, I think NIO has a lot of room to go, especially now, like on the trend, it's like breaking out, it's flagging and stuff. Maybe I should just cover this now. But yeah, yesterday I got some calls yesterday, and I ended up selling kind of towards like $20. I didn't sell at the top, but yeah, I think this is getting ready to do another breakout. If we can get like above 2020, no pun intended, then we'll probably retest the top end of this channel, I think, which would probably be like 21, 22. I would say 2150 would probably retest that. But yeah, I'm just bullish on China stocks right now, and the reason is, I guess maybe I should talk about the stuff now. Why NIO shares spiked Thursday? Basically a new infrastructure package got sent out, so like a stimulus check. Remember earlier I said we were going to talk about 2020 and just how the market performed really well, and just because a lot of people have money, basically government's pushing out money, now people have spending bread, and and that's really just going to help impact everything around the auto sector, right? Because now people have money to spend. Now they can start, pre-ordering their new NIO, whatever they might want, right? So what happened today? Basically, plenty of challenges in the electric vehicle sector right now, but NIO shares are up 8% today. Yeah. Okay. So what happened? EVs, NIO, and other electric vehicles continue to face new challenges, even as they work to recover from lost production and a drop from related zero COVID policy lockdown cities, and then the drought stuff, which we talked about too. But the government just announced a stimulus check to try and reinforce growth in the economy. And so basically, back to what I'm saying. What's up, plug recruiter? Check the vibes chat. All right, I'll check it out in just a second. Let me get through some of this really quick, and then I'll check it out in just a second. But yeah, basically what I'm saying, people have bread and now they can start spending it. Ramped up production in June. So NIO, what basically happened to NIO is like they had that second COVID lockdown and stuff, and they just shut down a whole bunch of their things. But like I said, all that stuff is kind of in the back end, so now they can start like finally like producing shit again. And basically the government giving like 1 trillion won or 150 billion infrastructure package to the economy is just giving them growth opportunity right now. So just like a lot of optimism coming out of like China, and so people are like buying this stuff up, and basically the whole consumer segment is just like on the spending spree basically. And so what's going to help NIO also is like further forecasts and stuff. So investors were already kind of looking forward to that, but now there's like more like anticipation with the new stimulus pack that like maybe they can like be more optimistic on their outlook and stuff. So I think NIO was like a big lagger and stuff. I made some good bread on it, and I should have got back in. I think this one should be doing good tomorrow. I think just the China stocks in general, just keep an eye on them. They also have like a lot of earnings next week, so I'm not sure if you guys are on Unusual Whales. I have a link down below if you guys want to sign up. You can sign up for free, but also have if you sign up with my link, you get 5% if you want to upgrade or something at some point. But let me show you guys some of the earnings for next week. We have a lot of China stocks next week. So we have Baidu, we have Pinduoduo Monday, China stock, Baidu. I'm not sure if NIO is actually reporting, but that one's for some reason showing up. And I think there was another one in here somewhere. I'm not exactly sure if there's another one. What's the other one? JD reported this week, so that one's a good post-earnings stock that you can also take a look at. But yeah, check out this if you guys are interested. I think that's what I had on NIO. Let me quickly go through. Okay, I have more stuff on NIO, but let me quickly do this thing for plug. What is he showing me? Peep Tesla. Oh, okay, he's talking about Tesla stuff. Let me show this for you guys really quick. He showed us a the hell? This is not going to show up. So it looks like there's $360 calls for in September. This was 16,000 in volume. Open interest was 200. So that's huge, actually. That's like there's only 200 contracts. We might be able to pull that up on Unusual Whales, actually. Let's take a look at that. Go back to Unusual Flow. Let's look at Tesla. And it is the what? The 360 for September 16th. Okay, let me clear this out. Tesla. And we just need to click on it. We can just find it. All this is on Unusual Whales, my guy, so you can take a look at it yourself sometimes. Let's go to options chain. Let's just look at the 916s. 360. Where we at? Where we at? All the way down here. 16,000. Zero. It's hella bearish though. It looks like it's bearish. So let me just take it. It looks like they might be selling these. So yeah, it's showing 202 open interest. 16,000 in volume. Now I don't trade Tesla a lot, so I don't know if 16,000 in volume is like normal or if it's unnormal. It looks unnormal. It looks unusual for sure. But the only thing I would say is it looks like it came in bearish, so it may look like they're selling these to other people or as a hedge or something. That came in today though, so that's pretty big. Let's go look at the flow. Let's take a look at some of the orders real quick. So now we're looking at some of the individual flows for the 360 for September 16th. Let's take a look. We'll do like 25,000. Actually, 25,000 is not a lot for Tesla. Oh, it is actually. It came in as a signal as well. So yeah, selling the 360. So this looks bearish. It looks like they're selling this for credits. And the reason we say that, or the reason it got flagged as bearish, is because the spreads. So for like this one right here, this is a perfect example. The spread is 102 versus 107, and the trade was executed at 107. So they basically got executed on the bid side, and so that wouldn't be implying that they sold this contract. So there's obviously a possibility that all of these are bullish, but just taking a look at most of these orders coming in as bearish, I would think that everything is, yeah, I think this order is definitely bearish, but not sure. So yeah, most of these came in as selling calls. There's like a few that came in on buying calls, but again, these are flagged bearish or bullish just because of the spot fill. So, but yeah, this is definitely unusual. The entire premium that came into this was like $1.6 million. So that's pretty big actually. Usually these orders are coming in at 40,000. There's a big one for 260K. And all these came in at the same time, 9:15, early in the day. So let's look at the early in the day Tesla real quick, see what happened at 9:15. All right, so Tesla, big dip before Thanksgiving, could be close to 200. Yes, maybe. What did I just say about Tesla? Oh, we're going to do this pennant, right? Yeah, so I'm thinking we had the pennant. I took it off, but something like this. So I'm expecting a bigger move by like next week, I think. Somewhere down here. Was it the 30th of August? The monthly on Tesla looks like it can happen. Oh, okay, let me go to monthly. Weekly? Would the weekly work for you? What do you think here? So from on the weekly, it looks like it. Let's just throw in trend lines here, but what are you thinking here? I was gonna say it kind of looks like an expanding triangle, but it could come up to like 345, I would say. I don't know about 360. Maybe. But what would that be? If you go to oh yeah, I guess you could get there. Yeah, you could get there. Like 350, 360. That would be $60 out of 300. Right, that would be, oh shit, divided. Where's the divide by sign? 60 divided by 300. It's a 20%. So 360 divided by 300, that's a 20% move to the upside. By, what's it, September? That's how many weeks out do we have? 1, 2, 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I guess it really just depends on what Powell says. Daddy Powell says. This also kind of looks like a nice little cup and handle that's forming. It's like a cup. It could break out, but if it gets rejected here in that trend line, then we're probably going to come down to like 250, like I said. I see the vision, though. I see the vision. And then Big Kahuna was more bearish, I think. He said big dip before Thanksgiving could be close to 200. Yeah. Yeah, I see you. I see you. I was thinking, okay, so maybe on the weekly. Yeah, this says it's a big downtrend. I was seeing like this a while ago. Let me clear the chart again. Daddy PP. Yeah, daddy, please. Daddy, chill. Daddy, chill. I was thinking head and shoulders for my guy. So look, rejection there. And then the entire market crashes. And we come down here. $60. That's what I was thinking like a long ass time ago. If you guys have seen the videos I've made a while ago, you guys would see the vision. But also, yeah, chart says a big downtrend. I would say so too. I haven't been traded except for like 4 years, so don't take my advice seriously. But it does, man, it does look nice though. It does look like a cup and handle right here, like just big nice cup for some coffee. And so I would be looking at, that uptrend that I was talking about, but also like breaking like somewhere around here, because then you got some room to come down. And also, I know I'm getting off subject. I'm sorry, you guys, whoever's watching this later, but Amazon is gonna be juicy too. This thing's gonna be prime. Like, the only really thing that's stopping like a lot of like these breakdowns is Powell, and then the midterm elections. Like, historically, the midterm elections, we run up the market and stuff. So like that's the thing that really, like, those are the two things that are holding up a stock market crash, I think, in my opinion. Jerome Powell in the stock market and the midterm elections. Like, Biden's gonna tell Powell, hey, pump the market because we got elections coming up. So he's gonna say what he needs to say to get the market going. What do you guys think? Anyway, don't want to get too distracted. Let's go back to NIO. I think NIO's my favorite day trader right now. It's got the most bullish catalyst. Bullish. If you guys have any Tesla questions, please put them in the comments too. But let me go back to, so we got the DD for today, but just a few days ago, they also had some more bullish thesis here, like get ready for the big European catalyst. Basically what they're doing is they're gonna like officially enter Germany's electric vehicle market. Now this doesn't really affect me as an investor because I'm not investing in NIO, but it's just like a cushion for you to like feel kind of like have a bullish sentiment for NIO if you want to day trade it. They're gonna be obviously they've been like in a downtrend because volatility, also delistings, and just a whole bunch of like the production stuff was shut down and stuff. Just August has been rough for NIO. It hasn't been a good one, right? But it's still a favorite, and it's a good day trader's stock. Probably a good one. But basically, the catalyst, the cushion that you guys, if you guys are long-term investors and stuff, is that NIO is gonna be in Norway, or that one's already in Norway. It was gonna have the power swap stations already, but now officially has a chance to gain a share of the largest EV market, which is Germany. So that's basically just a little bit of cushion for you guys to if you guys want to invest in NIO or trade NIO. There's bullish catalyst, bullish sentiment coming out October 7th. Put that in your calendars and stuff. There might be headlines around that timeline. We'll see where we're trading at there. And then, like I said, the other things, the infrastructure, I think that's the big thing. It's just like giving good sentiment overall, just the China markets and stuff. But I have one more thing that's bullish for just the entire Chinese stocks. And that is that China is also open to the US, like allowing them to do audit work for because there's a lot of concern with the, basically the shadiness, talks about audit papers. So US and China are talking across audit paper access for important steps ahead of their agreement between the countries. So that's going to help them from delisting. I got a few lists of companies that you guys can definitely add to your watch list. So you guys can watch these because these are basically outperforming. So a lot of bullish sentiment. Like basically, I showed you guys at the beginning when the stock market was selling off, people rotated into China stocks. And now I feel like it's going to be the same thing. On top of that, they have this that just came out today. They also have the stimulus check that just came out today. So just hella good vibes. I wish I would have got back in some more NIO put or more NIO calls, but I got some bread, so I'm happy. But these are just another ones that you can watch. Pinduoduo has earnings next week. JD just reported, so JD might be a good one because there's no like big moves expected, but it can still move heavy and you won't get IV crushed. I'm not sure if Alibaba has reported. And then, yeah, I think XPET might be a sleeper too. I think that one can do well. So NIO as a sleeper is probably my favorite. And XPEN, I'll have to add that one to the list. And there's another one, Li Auto, that's not on here. But just there's a nice little bunch of Chinese stocks, China stocks to look at. And just, I think there's a good vibe going from them right now. They're just, just doing what they got to do. What is this about? This is just an extra article. So I think that's all the stuff I have. I haven't talked about the I don't know, man, about NIO. They move back the earnings, which most times they're bad news. Oh, okay, okay. So you're not bullish on NIO. I'm not bullish on NIO as a stock because obviously I think they're kind of shady. There was a short report, which is actually, it was included in here. Grizzly Research, I think, did the, yeah, Grizzly Research. They did a short report that they're like artificially inflating their revenue and stuff. And I think it's just selling the shit to themselves or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, it was not good for NIO. And yeah, and so but this audit thing, I mean, it can clear some of that stuff up. It's like, okay, this is good news for companies that are actually doing shit, but like legit. But then NIO looks at themselves, we haven't been doing our stuff, so they still get listed. I don't know. But yeah, I just think it's a good day trading. I'm not gonna invest in like China stocks as a long term. I've got burned. I was investing on a YouTube company that was like a China version of YouTube, and I ended up cutting that for a loss a long ass time ago when I started trading like in 2018. And yeah, I don't want to trade China stocks, or invest in China stocks, but I'll trade them. And I think this is in a nice little, it's got some good catalysts coming up. And like I showed you guys, 15-minute chart, had a nice run up. We reclaimed like $20, which is a good level. It's up here. And then now it's consolidating. You could even say this is like a double bottom here, basically. So, I mean, it should get ready to retouch 2034, and it might be up after hours actually. But yeah, China stocks in general I think are going to be hot. And yeah, it's just looking good, my guy. So let me read up. I just need to play the daily calls to be safe. Yeah. So what I do, and I play, I'm a like high risk and stuff, but I've been like adjusting some of my plays. I always try to get like at least 3 weeks on my calls and stuff. So I do like the ones that I got today. I can probably show you guys my wins. You guys can follow me on Twitter, by the way. I'm on Twitter. Check your boy out. Here I am, GGG Investor. And I post a whole bunch of free play, free clout and stuff. So check it out. See, I was talking about this hella early. This is the SPY chart. This is on the 15-minute. We got a nice little cup forming. You got the steam brewing. And then this was at 416, and then this thing started gapping. It just, some horses, it started running. And Pins is destroying me. I don't know what's going on with that. Chewy, I think, might be a play. You guys can look at it later. But the one, here's my wins. This is a little baby win. I bought these yesterday, but I got the September 16s. So if I would have got like the September 2nds or the September 9s, these things, which I did get like a few of those, but it wasn't worth posting on here, but they were up like 70%. So I would have made like a little bit more. But since these have more time, then the volatility, it doesn't move as much. Right? So that's the risk reward. Like you get shorter dated contracts, they'll move more if the stock actually moves. But I've been trying to be safe on it, so that's what it is. So yeah, check it out. I'm on here, and I post a whole bunch of stuff. Check out Discord, check out Unusual Whales. I got 5% there. TradingView, that's the platform to be on if you're not on there. You can just set it up for free. But I think that's all the stuff. I don't want to drag this video too long. I'm just gonna do a quick recap. So this was like the main thing for Polestar. It was just a nice little breakdown, retouching on some things, and fundamentally it's a good company. So kind of just ignore the FUD. And obviously there's stuff going on like economically wise, right? Energy crisis and stuff, and unfortunately it kind of reflects on the stock, but fundamentally I think it's a good stock, right? And then we talked about Tesla, and they're upgrading their price target to 360, and yeah, we're still not going to talk about the babies. This one basically maybe, but basically what I was saying here with the 360, this is just a bullish thing that came out. This is not like realistic. Like it doesn't mean it's going to go to 360 tomorrow. This is just analyst forecast. And then we talked about the split, so just good things and bad things, right? So first split was we were different in a different economy, different vibes, but now things are starting to show up. They're unraveling different, or what the hell am I saying? Like you know what I'm saying, things aren't unfolding the same as they did in 2020, you know, and prime examples are Google and Amazon. They haven't done well. I mean, they did well because of their earnings and stuff, but it's not like because of the split news, right? It was because of their earnings. So, but then again, we got the whole Elon cult, so they might do their own thing. This will be interesting to see, and we looked at the charts for that, and then we talked about California, just them trying to, I guess, be a little sneaky. But yeah, my play is definitely NIOs. Definitely going to take a look at this one tomorrow. Probably some of the other ones that I was showing you guys, which is not that part. We talked about the German company and stuff, but some of the other companies, where the hell are they? Yeah, some of these. So you can take a look at those. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to quickly go over the results. Here's the result for the poll. We got 85% people in here, Polestar. And then we have 14% Tesla. Nobody NIO. Okay, so we got the same taste. I like Tesla. I just don't like the valuations and stuff. And then NIO is a day trade. And then Polestar, I think it's just like undervalued. It's slept on kind of stock. It doesn't do good in the stock market, but the company's been doing pretty good. And it's got let me clear this out. And it's got good good fundamentals, good backing, I think. And don't even get me started with Lucid. Do you guys want to talk about Lucid? Do you guys like to talk about Lucid a little bit? This thing, I think this is going to come down at 15 for sure some point again. But yeah, I don't even want to talk about this. Let me just clear this out. So we had 7 votes, 85% were Polestar. Anybody have any other questions? And then the last thing we did cover was that unusual order that came in here, and we took a look at it through the flow here. But I think that's gonna about wrap it up for me, guys. Appreciate everyone showing up, and if you guys have any questions or watching this later, just put it in the comments below. Take a second to hit the like button for me. I appreciate everybody supporting the channel. And yeah, I take some time to edit and look at these things or just highlight stuff, so all the love's appreciated. Hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you guys in the next video. Shout out to Big Kahuna, the plug recruiter, Olatiso, I think, I can't remember his name, and Conrad. I think those are the people showing up and showing some love in here, so I appreciate that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. I'm signing out.